terms of content, there is new dungeons coming to Timewalking in patch 9.1.5. And this is all pretty damn cool. So, according to new data mining, many new dungeons, 9, have been added to the Timewalking pool. That is the Underbog, Botanica, and Blood Furnace for the Burning Crusade, Utgard Keep, which was good, I enjoyed that, Azul Narub, and Forge of Souls.
Oh.
So we can jam out in that for Wrath of the Lich King. Black Rock Cavern for Cataclysm, so you can break yourself upon his body.
That's not Black Rock Caverns.
I'm getting that confused with Stonecore.
That was
What am I
Stonecore,
doing?
yeah.
I've lost my friggin' marbles.
Yeah, Oh my.
That's the one you go to. You get the mole machine and Hyjal that takes you there.
I'm sorry, everyone. Cataclysm Timewalking is now a nightmare. Because Black Rock Caverns, that was the one with the lava boss, wasn't it? Where you have to melt the boss's armor plating under the lava. You think what I'm thinking? Everyone's going to die repeatedly all the time. Because even, what's the one? It's even the Halls of Lightning in Wrath. I have groups that die all the time because of not understanding mechanics. Because how do you understand boss whirlwind mechanics? So I can understand the Black Rock Caverns is going to be absolutely, it's going to murder the hell out of people.
Big one for WoD. Grimrail.
Grimrail, that'll be fun.
Yep, Grimrail. Great to see that back. And then Skullomance for Mists of Pandaria. So, yep, there you go. Of course, Dakor's little addition was, let's get raids added to Timewalking. More of them, the rest of the dungeons, updated Timewalking vendors for each expansion, and have it be active every single week on rotation. And then I would add to what Dakor said, let's ensure that the gear is in a decent state so that you could actually want to do it to vary your gameplay. I think that would be a healthy enough thing that would make more of the game you sort of feel, big and active. That's one thing. Another thing is any of those expansion-specific features, the challenge modes for World of Draenor and Mists of Pandaria, we could bring those in. All that stuff, the more the merrier, right? It could be really cool. There's just, there's a bunch there. I mean, you could even do things like if you were to activate or, have a special thing for the dailies from some of those expansions where they could also give you like time warped badges for, I don't know, doing some of the dailies or, just little things of content reuse that it's like, it's not super, super mega fun, but it's like, oh yeah, I could go grind that thing and get, yeah, sure. There's a bunch of people who would probably do that. And then, it's interesting to me even with raids too. Like, time walking is a thing to do for leveling, I think is an interesting concept.
Yeah,
to be honest with you, I've not done it in a leveling character in such a long time because usually when I'm leveling, I'm just like, I will go in and I will quest and then I will be done. What is time walking leveling like? And there's also just a bit of me that would wonder, just what could they do there?
What do you mean time walking leveling?
Well, just like level up a toon.
Oh, you mean just doing chromie time dungeons and stuff?
No, I mean like doing the time walking queue dungeons while you're leveling a character. I forget. Like,
so
I
haven't done it very much. Last I remember doing it recently, it was basically pointless. It was no real different. It didn't offer any substantially more rewards. It was kind of weirdly balanced, I remember correctly. I can't remember if that was in the favor of the lobby or not, but it certainly didn't feel quite as right as just regular dungeons. Didn't offer enough of a bonus to do it anyway.
Interesting. Well, it's just the sort of thing where, for some players, like, let's just say they really like the Worlds of Draenor dungeons, maybe it could be fun to get, just do some leveling via that. It's just an idea. Maybe that's more of a tuning thing for what's already there. Maybe there's more that they could do. I mean, throw some ideas. I've not really thought about it that much.
I mean, that's exactly what Zephyr says. Time walking was slower than regular dungeons for XP. So why not make time walking give a lot of extra XP? Almost like it sort of did recently. And then there you go.
Oh, yeah, they nerfed that.
Oh, yeah. They're like, no fun allowed. I'm sorry, everyone. They did tune it up a little bit again, but it's like, if you've got an event, why not make it an event? Why not make it? It's if you don't make it special, no one's going to make it special because you're the one making the bloody game.
Yes.
Players aren't going to care if you don't make them care. So make them care. Problem solved.
True. So there you go. Look, at least I can say that. Can we expect loads of new content in 9.1.5? No. I would really like to think, perhaps hope, that there being more attention paid to time walking right now indicates that they might want to do something, just more with it in the future.
Yeah.
Perhaps, with FF14 being the top of people's minds, they're thinking about how they can use their vast library of content, and they can. It would be cool if they did. So hopefully they do, and hopefully this indicates they're paying attention to that. But of course, we can't sort of count our chickens before they eggs before they hatch.
Chickens before they hatch.
Yes, that's it.
Because an egg is not a chicken until it becomes chicken.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I'm a bit sleepy today. Moving on then. Timewalking Cataclysm is up, and you know what? Does it not take on some increased significance now that people know that Legion Timewalking is there, and if they go and they get their time warped boyos here, they could maybe use and get the Aegis of Akramor. So I think more people are going to be engaged in this Cataclysm Timewalking than in previous ones. So certainly, if you're interested in Legion 1, you want to get a head start, go do this. Also...
Actually, no.
No?
I'm going to stop for 1 second.
Am I talking shite?
No, you're not talking shit.
Oh,
but I just want to say how frustrating it is that the only way to get time walking badges that isn't a massive pain in the ass grind is to just do it every time it comes up once.
Yes.
The fact that you get 500 when it comes up, and then like a small handful, like 10 to 20, or I think it's between 10, 20, 10, 30, depending on which dungeon you're doing, because you get the bonus from the queue and then a couple badges for a boss, I believe. And it's just massive. Stingy. It's really stingy, and it just... Because obviously I've got thousands of badges because I do it every now and again over time. But it just feels like this just not... It's just... Yeah. It just doesn't work for people who don't get to do it all the time. Well, that's the thing. You won't go grind this to get badges. You'll do it. You'll do one, and you'll go, well, I don't need to do any more because it's not worth my time. I'll wait for later, which means realistically you're only going to get, unless you're really, really hardcore and spam the hell out of them, then you're just going to kind of have like, you could be looking at maybe enough to buy the Aegis if you start now. But it's really, and then obviously 500, because so many things you buy are account bound. You then 500 one character, another character, 500, another character, 500. So you run into this problem where you can do like 10 of them and have more badges than you'll need.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel natural or right.
I think if I was to, give any advice, and I'm pretty sure you've already said this anyway, I think that they should overall increase the acquisition rate of Time Warp badges, but massively make it not from doing one, for that. So make it so that if somebody wants to just grind out a bunch of dungeons, they can actually get a shed load of those badges. Yeah. De-incentivize just kind of like getting a free win and then everything after that being absurdly inefficient. I think that would get more people in the time walking queue, and that would be good. Especially if they made it so that time walking was viable for leveling up characters as well. Just all of those things to improve the health of the time walking queue so that it's as close to instant as it can be. Those would all be awesome. Now, the other thing is there are some previously unobtainable crafting recipes. So this is not super significant, but these weren't obtainable, for a while in the game. They cost 1,500 badges, which is pretty pricey. So 1,500 badges will let you make some big bear steaks, some lean venison, greater arcane protection potions, ice deflectors, the robe of winter night, and the storm shroud gloves, armor, and shoulders. So some additions there. There you go. I mean, hey. Cool dungeons, cool stuff. It's WoW dungeons. WoW dungeons are great. The more we have reasons to do them, the better. And I think just a world where more time is invested in the time walking system is a really good one. I just, I want there to be regular time walking like this. And I really want mythic time walking where they just crank the scaling up a little bit. I remember it was like the first time I did the TBC time walking, and I don't know if it was the scaling at the time or whatever, but I remember a fair few people dying. This is back in WoD when the time walking system first came out. I remember people dying. Of course, a lot of that was because of the the damage reflect boss.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, yeah.
That was all really fun. But I don't know, man. I think they could probably push the difficulty a decent bit higher, or maybe I guess there are some people who kind of like, they make a time walking set for their character, like they have all the gear that will scale up perfectly. There's a bit of me that will wonder, like, would you want to make that not be a thing and then make a harder version and then have a good integrity, or would you want a time walking where you can kind of optimize your character for time walking? You do that sort of harder difficulty different ways you could go, but I think
Yeah.
they can get more out of it.
Well, I mean,
It's great content fundamentally.
that's the thing that I think is interesting when it comes to difficulty design and when it comes to player freedom as well, where I think that's something that there's so much variance in that. You can either have someone who's utterly pointless, does no damage, versus someone who comes in with, everything on the planet that they possibly need and just destroy. So I feel like there's likely ways for them to tune that variance way down, so you go 10% faster or 20% faster instead of 300% faster if you're optimal. So I think that just creates this massive rift in the community of people going fast and slow. So I think there's probably something there, but then I guess are people too used to increasing their DPS by hundreds of percent instead of the 5 or 10% that makes it a little bit more kind of a little bit more reasonable, I think. But that's just an errant thought.
Yeah, so time walking, there we go.